See if we're on and how the video looks.
I guess.
Channel way.
So we're at Harley Davidson of DC, HD of DC. So we're in Maryland, right outside of Washington DC, at the dealership where we're going to leave from tomorrow morning to go to RFK parking lot to get ready for the ride to Remember. So we got to meet Tim Chamberlain. He is from he's the saluting soldier. So we got a few words from him. We got to hear, I think his name's David Gray. He's a singing Marine. So we got to hear him sing the Pledge of Allegiance. And we've just been walking around trying to visit people and talk to people. We might go into Washington, D.C. They've got a monument up there that we saw this morning. And check out to see where the parking lot is, where everybody's going to leave from. So that's what we've been doing, and that's where we're at. I guess it's this one. So it looks like we got 9 people on, so somebody's watching us.
My phone wouldn't come up with it.
I don't know.
All right. Turn that down.
So he's telling me to talk, so I'm just blabbing away. So we saw a dead deer on the side of the road, so tomorrow morning we got to get up and be here by 7:30, and we're about an hour and a half away.
Red Pink's on.
So we're going to, hey, Red Pink. We're going to,
Yeah.
yes, you may. We're going to leave about 6 to get here by 7:30.
Maybe before that.
So it'll be kind of crazy. Somebody else is on too. I can't see who that is.
Wesson Customs.
There
What's
we
up,
go.
everyone?
Hey,
I put glasses on.
we're in Washington, D.C.
Yep, so you can see behind us, that's their wall there.
The mural for the saluting soldier, which is Tim.
He's back there.
Yep.
He'll be in the video. You can barely see him. You got a really big TV, you probably can see him. But,
I should put my glasses on too.
yeah. So just want to come on real quick, let you guys know what's going on. Because I said we'd probably do it live today. We might do one this afternoon too, just depending on where we're going to be at. We're going to try to go over to, is it RFK parking lot?
Yes.
There's a bunch of stuff going on there. It's all put on this year by the AM Vets. So last time they had this, was it 2019 they said?
I think so.
They had about almost 20,000 bikes. So it used to be in the heyday, there was like 80,000 bikes. So they're expecting more than normal, but not as much probably as the 80,000. But nobody knows.
I'm telling you, a lot of people want to be out, and it's Memorial Day weekend, and we've seen people from all over. We've been talking to a lot of people, so that's kind of cool. Live chat. There we go. So if you're on, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And do you have any questions about the ride?
Yeah. So we're waiting for everything's going on. We didn't know what we were going to do, but it looks like we're going to actually be in the ride. If not, she would have had to been over there at that RFK like at 6 a.m. That means we would have had to leave like at 4 in the morning because we're an hour and a half away from what's going on here. That's where we stayed at. That's all we had. It was what was set up with our membership.
Free.
Can't complain about free. Just the traffic. Traffic's not so bad over here.
Not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
We got some videos coming up soon. Probably won't be till next week before I get them edited. One is a ride that we actually took the truck and drove into Washington, D.C. We actually came here, find out where the dealership was at. We went into Washington, D.C., seen some of the monuments. You see some of that. We actually did something new. Amzol Adam was doing it, and he said maybe we should try that, where we did a video from the moment we walk out of the trailer, tell you kind of what we're doing. A few times we talk in the truck, and we'll see if you guys like that or not. Something different and something to add to what we do. And so here we've been kind of filming some of the stuff that they're doing around the dealership. We want to get the saluting Sergeant Marine. Wanted to get him. She got him on camera, so that's going to be kind of neat. So this is going to be a pretty neat weekend. And all this is pretty much just Saturday and Sunday. We do have a video coming out on Monday that I made special for those for Memorial Day.
Thank you for all those who have served or are serving or
if anybody has lost somebody in the war. Because I guess that's more what Memorial Day is. Memorial Day is more about those that are lost versus those that were veterans. That's kind of what Veterans Day is for. So there's kind of two different things to where a lot of people always say, hey, this is a big holiday. Well, no, it's not. It's supposed to be the time that we remember those that have lost their lives in these battles. And there's a young girl. There's a young girl here that actually had She's been doing it. She's 13 years old. She's been doing it for like 5 years. She raises $25,000 worth of products that she sends over to the military, and then $10,000 worth of Christmas stuff she sends over. And she's got a non-for-profit, and actually very...
Miss Sawyer.
Yep. And we'll put that information up
Yep.
when we do the video next week, to where you guys can give to her group. She makes no money. It's all, and she travels all over the area. And very
information.
Yeah, very.
She could be a motivational speaker. She's very good.
And but yeah, which it is, and that's her cause is more about Memorial Day is more about those POWs that are missing, people that have the remains have never been never came back, and she talked a little bit about suicides, mental illness with the that's what she brought up, which I think that was the right number. I think I've heard that too. 22 military people, current and serving people that have served, die every day from some type of mental issue or suicide. So that's really, something that should be taken care of, and that's what she said. She says she's not a Republican, she's not a Democrat, she's not anybody. She just cares, and it's really moving.
Yeah.
And even though she read a script, we won't put all that on, just for the fact that she probably talked about 10 minutes or more.
And I told her that when I went by and filmed all of her stuff, and she said, well, please tag me in it if you put it online. And I said, I will, but I just want to let you know that we're probably not going to put your whole speech on. She said, that's okay.
But I mean, we could do something for her if she wanted to see her whole speech. I don't know if she wants it or not. We could put it on YouTube and give her a link to it, and she could look at it whenever she wanted. We put it out there for everybody to look at, but I don't really want to make a video out of it, because it's 99% of you wouldn't sit through her old little spiel. And,
but it was very motivational. It was cool that she did that. And
the best part was the end. She said a lot of really good things more towards the end, more moving than at the beginning. And it was like 4 or 5 pages. She read it, but she read really good. And I only messed up a couple little times. But I mean, hey, she's 13 years old. She's doing a really big thing.
I told her she's a girl with a purpose. She's going to go far in this world.
And, hopefully she'll stay on the track she's going, and she'll be somebody very important in years to come, maybe 10 years from now, that'll be helping all the vets.
Might be one of our representatives.
Maybe she'll be one that'll be helping the vets.
Yep.
I don't know if she get political or not, because that's what ends up happening when you become political, senator, things like that. You just really can't do the things as if when you were a private citizen, because you got to play the game. And that's kind of what's wrong with America.
Howdy. Who's on? Dave's here, man. How you guys doing?
And so we're trying to get everything all lined up here today, so tomorrow we don't have any issues. Because
Jason Brown's on?
We weren't planning on being in the parade. We thought we'd just film it. But from here, we leave at 8 o'clock in the morning. We have to get to the JFK parking lot, and that's where they meet now. They don't meet at the Pentagon anymore. And so we meet there, you do your staging, and you leave from there. Well, we want to be in if we're going to ride the ride, I need to be in the front, because we hear this could get to be a pushing rally. You push your bike because it gets backed up.
The girl we just talked to said that Kelly, who's the PR person here at the dealership, she says they've got it all lined up, everything's police escorted, the roads are all shut off, and she says they keep them going.
If you ever rode in a hog group, you know how things can happen. The first one person hits their brakes, and everybody, next thing you know, the guy at the back stopped. So yes, it's, and then also the saluting sergeant. There's a lot of you are going to, if you're watching this, if you're there, going to be there, you're going to stop and you're going to salute. Well, that's going to stop. So you have 20,000 bikes. Let's say 75% of them stop. It doesn't take long for that to get to the back of the line. So, yes.
We'll see.
But we wanted to film as they came in.
Tom's on. Hey, Tom, how are you doing?
That's what we're trying to do. So,
Rolling Thunder. Now it's called Ride to Remember.
Yeah. What happened with Rolling Thunder is the gentleman that was in charge of it got a little too old and didn't want to do it anymore, and he couldn't find anybody that would step up and take over for it. So with the pandemic and all that, I think this group took it over. I don't know if it was 2019. They said that was the last time they had one here was 2019 because of the COVID and all that. I think they've had a few little rides going, even though during COVID, but it wasn't as publicized as what this is.
Yes, he does. And it says that Tom says Tim stands and salutes for hours. Yeah,
the whole time, never stops. So we got to talk to him, and we'll get, because we figured, because that's what they ended up telling us, is if we don't ride, the Capitol Police, because you're down there by that, will not let you get off your bike. and come back. So that's what we thought. There's no way we're going to be able to film that without being on the ride. So originally she was going to be at the end waiting for me, but
And kind of film everybody coming in.
but she'd have to get there at 6 o'clock. We wouldn't leave here from 8. It's probably going to be at least 30 to 45 minutes before we get down there. Then you got to stage, and it's not leaving. The parade doesn't start till noon when it pulls out. So that's a long time to be sitting down at the end. Nothing's going on. So we decided we'll just go through it all, and if we can get close to the front as possible, that we can, when she gets there, she can jump off when we gets there and catch everybody as they're coming in. So now we've been told we got to talk to the AM vets, get one of their presidents to give us a sticker.
Combat vets.
Combat vets. They're still veterans.
CM Combat.
Yeah.
CVMA.
There's a lot of them here. A lot of them here. We're probably one of the few people that aren't military. Lots of military people, but they invite anybody. If you're patriotic, you can join the ride. You don't have to be. You don't have to have served in the military to be involved with any of these rides.
Tom said, "Get you some of them love jugs. We got some on our bike."
Yep. So still got the ticking noise. Don't know what's going on. We're here at the dealership here. Their head mechanic came out, but of course, once the bike heats up, you don't hear it anymore. So I don't.
Not as I don't. It's hard for somebody else to hear it.
So.
But he said those engines make a lot of noise. The 110s.
So, but I never heard that ticking noise like that before. So, but then they told me, the mechanic here said, you got to make sure before you change the cam, you have to make sure.
It fits in it, because they said if not, it'll tear something up.
So I don't know if speeds checks, but see, the 110 is just kind of like on its own little world. Things that they've done to that thing and things that happened to that motor. But you didn't know that when I bought it.
Well, you didn't, because it's trial and error. They thought it was going to be this great new thing.
I don't know if that was the first year for 110s or not.
I think it was.
2014s. Don't know.
Because my bike was a 107, but it was a 1. I thought it was a 7. Whatever. Anyway. Now they got what, the 114? Indians got the 111?
117, I think it is.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. But, so we'll see how it all turns out. So tomorrow, with great weather here. We had a lot of storms last night. We didn't really have any real issues. We heard it rain. Pretty much most of the day yesterday pretty much was rain.
Thundered a little bit right when we went to bed.
Been seeing stuff on Facebook that over there at the RFK, Robert Francis Kennedy.
Fitzgerald.
So that's the parking lot. So
He thought Lincoln was born in Indiana too, and I said Kentucky, and he's like,
no, I just wanted to verify.
Yes.
I knew he lived in Kentucky for a while, but I didn't. I thought.
that's where he was born.
But Illinois is.
You should know that. You're from Illinois, and you had to go through all that history of.
And how long ago was that we in school?
How long were we in school?
How long ago? Just had my 40th class reunion several years ago. So,
2009. No, 19. 19.
So yeah. So been a long time since I've been in school.
Dave Zimmerman says, hit the like button. Thanks.
And this won't be very long. We're not going to be on very long today. Ryder X is coming today. He wants to take us out to lunch. He's supposed to be here probably any minute.
Yep,
And
he
he's probably out
says
there looking around
ETA
for us.
was 115 and it's 123.
Yeah. So he's somewhere out here. But his bike's still broke down. They're rebuilding
It's
his
in the
motor.
back. I got to see it.
And
Pretty
they're
bike.
supposed to. We finally got the cylinder heads done. He had it done by.
Zipper.
Yeah. And well, on their website it says it takes 4 to 7 days.
I believe him.
I think he's been waiting 4 weeks for his to come back. And he didn't even know when we talked to him yesterday. He's like, I have no idea when they're coming. And they called yesterday. He's like, holy crap, you brought me good luck. Because when he talked to them the other day, they said they're in line. They get there when they get there. Because I guess what they do is, depending on what motor you have, if it's M8s, they're doing all the M8s at one time. They do whatever motor they have going. And to bore them out or whatever they're doing. And so they're actually not too far from here, but we don't really have the time to go check out that place.
But I think it was like 4 hours. Oh no, I guess he said it was like 45 minutes.
So, if we would have known sooner, we probably could have, but didn't think about it. They were that close here. But maybe next time, whenever that'll be. But we did find a couple other things. I don't know if you guys are interested in Rush Exhaust. They're going to be on our way in Indiana. So we might check them out. Somebody else was going to try to stop and see.
In Sioux Falls.
Who's the other person? I know Clockwork's windshields, but I mean somebody else.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Oh, I can't think. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't say it. I don't know.
Take your tongue out and pull it out.
It
Didn't come
didn't
out,
work.
Oh, no. So we got a bunch of things like that we're going to try to plan as we leave Laconia.
Oh, Dakota Digital.
Oh yeah, Dakota Gauges. Should be able to get a chance to go through their place. Did they sell another bike?
No, I think he just hit the bell.
They
He
sold a
had
bike this
good
morning.
service. That's what they do in Arby's. You have good service, you ring the bell way out at Arby's.
There you go.
Oh, you just bought one? Oh, she just bought a bike.
What'd you buy?
Which one?
Oh,
Oh, I saw you on it earlier this morning, I think.
okay. You take it out for a ride? Plates and all that on? Did you trade one in?
Windscreen,
Okay. Okay.
all expensive things that I want to have.
Yeah.
They fit.
Yep, nothing wrong with that.
Cool.
What year was the one you traded in? 16, and the one you got now is?
22.
So it's a brand new one. Okay. I know they said they had some used, but they didn't know how many. When we talked to them yesterday, they said they had a few.
6 miles.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Somebody
That's
rode
just
it around the
bringing
block.
it in and out of the showroom, probably. Cool.
So they sold 2 bikes here today that we know. First one, they did a big thing.
Didn't buy this, bought a bike.
There you go. Isn't that how
Are
it
you
works?
the one that they did the sirens
No.
and everything for?
That was-
Oh, that was you?
Oh.
Okay. We heard that all early. There was a big commotion. He ran in here to see what was going on. And somebody bought a bike, and it was her.
Yep, so they sold a couple bikes here today.
Yep.
And they don't have a whole lot of bikes. They're not getting. They're like all the other dealers. They're not getting a whole lot of new stuff in. But
They got a real
are-
pretty CBO. It's called
Yellow
Canary
one. They got an
Yellow.
orange one over there.
I like it, but I think it's a Road King because it's a fixed fairing.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But it's pretty. I like the color. Mike's on. How about that?
There you go.
What does Mike say? Mike says, Navy veteran says, thanks to those who got out of their uniform. Freedom is never free. That's right. So yes, and thank you again. I'll say it over and over throughout the video. For all of you that have served, all of you that have family serving, all of those that gave all, thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Yes, they got a lot of CDOs. They have 2 CDOs.
They got those two. I think they're both CBOs. That yellow one and
We
the
have a
orange.
few bikes here. We'll lift this up. I won't go walking around because I don't want to get digital breakdown. I want to put. There's the yellow one. And they got an orange one over here.
Hey, there he is. How you doing?
How was your trip down?
Not too bad. Took us about an hour and a half to get here, so we're going to
It took me over 2 hours.
So, there we go.
It wasn't bad.
There's Ryder X.
Just
Showed up.
getting here
And he lives a couple hours from here. This is his dealership where he gets all his work done at on his bike. And so trying to get our stickers put on our bike so we can get in. So
They'll just put you in with a hog chapter and hopefully they'll just give you a sticker.
there we go.
All right, thank you so much, Dave.
You guys ride your bike in tomorrow?
So that's how it all goes. So, yep. So we're getting all ironed out for the ride tomorrow to be up front. I guess we're going to be with the dealership here in the hog group. And so you have to,
I figured, because that's how it was in Penny.
and so we'll see how this all
You guys
works.
got closer to the front, but they might be able to park somewhere where you could.
Well, what they said was, she talked today, and they said what's going to end up happening is when you come in, the AM vets, or and the AM vets and the combat vets are going to go in. Everybody else is going to go to the left, which is going to be general parking.
But the
So-
hog group gets to go in with the combat vets. So
Yeah.
we'll be like in the front of the line when we leave. So once we get to where we're ending up, I'm going to hurry up and call the bike and then come back.
So that way, because they told us once we get in there, because that's what she was going to do. She was going to try to come back and get him saluting. They said they'll never let you get near him because they close off the military, or not military, but the Capitol
Are you
Police. will be
guys
all
going to
over.
try to venture into DC to see him in the media? Or
Yeah. So we're going to follow we're going to go so at 8 o'clock in the morning, we'll leave here and go to the parking lot. And then at noon, we'll ride with them. We'll be in the front of the line, in the front group, to go the whole ride. So we'll get to wherever they're stopping at.
Gotcha.
So I'm sure all the vets are going to go.
Because there's stuff going to be going on
Yeah, because
wherever
at the
that's
end of
at.
the route, you can stop and park. You don't have to like get on the highway and go back. You can find a spot
So-
to park and walk over. And it's kind of where it ends. It's kind of close to where the marina.
So that's what the plan is. So we'll see how that all works out tomorrow, and we'll see if you get a whole bunch of information for you guys. And get to see what it's like. And if you've never been here, never seen it, you can see what's going on. We're getting some pretty good interviews so far. Met a lot of people. We already got a donation from somebody. We just met today and
Not yet.
wanted to buy us
So,
lunch.
since
So
I'm spending the night,
it's
yeah,
kind of
I have a
nice.
lot of time.
So we do appreciate all that,
So I'll just-
and appreciate everybody out there that wants to help us out any way they can. It's all greatly appreciated. Gas right now, people always saying, what's the price of gas right now? Right now for diesel, the cheapest is
Did you talk to Mike?
$5.44. On the highway with my trucker discount, getting here, I paid $5.40 a gallon. So most of the diesel around here is about, actually downtown Washington D.C., diesel was only $5.65, I think. I said, holy crap, I can't believe it's that cheap for being, in Washington D.C.
Well, maybe.
If you ever come to Washington D.C., make sure you eat way before you ever get here. Because once you start getting into the city, there is no place to stop to eat. It's just impossible. We ended up eating a hot dog at
You must have went early then.
Monument.
Did you get here at 10?
They had a little hot dog stand there, and we got something. Other than that, there's nothing there to eat. And there's no place to stop on the way in. And we've seen that, so then we decided, what the heck is going on? And so look at your comments. You got a whole bunch of them lately.
Uh-oh. Sorry, I was talking to right.
We got 40 people on.
All right.
So it looks like we got to have that all set up
How's the
with the
noise
parade.
going? He was talking about that earlier, that the service manager here was looking at it. He couldn't really see it because of, or hear it, because the bike's too
No,
loud.
Ryder X is not going to Sturgis. He can't get off this year. He's planning 2023.
Yeah, so.
So the noise, we don't know. It's still there.
Kevin says, check out the locker for your bike. You did look at that,
Yes.
didn't you?
I don't know.
We
I
were
don't.
looking at all kinds of stuff.
What I think on that is when I read it and watched the video,
There's
the
two
guy
men.
said the noise is more dominant when it gets hot. Mine goes pretty much away when it gets hot. Now today, I listened better today on it, and it's still there when you pull the clutch in. It's still, and once today when I was in fourth gear and I was going kind of slow, you know how you kind of get the octane knock or the bike kind of shakes? Right before it did that, I could hear the noise again. So their 30-year mechanic came out and looked at it and said, I don't hear nothing. No more than the normal noises, but I don't hear it now. So I don't know what. No idea. It could be anything, and that's what everybody says. It could be anything. It could be that new pipe you put on. There could be a leak in that. It could be a lifter. It could
Something
be
just jiggling around in there. Something
Speeds
fell.
went through and listened with their stethoscope. So that's why at the point I'm thinking it's not in the
So is that
engine.
fuel pump, J-Man said?
So I don't know. I've been looking at all your comments and thinking about all that stuff and trying to figure it out, and I don't know. So
Hopefully if we get some of this stuff done to the engine, that'll help it. I don't know.
we'll see. That takes a lot of the main things out. There's also that
At least
other
you won't
noise.
be worried about the engine.
If you looked at the other part of the video where it kind of showed that other noise, which somebody does kind of make it sound like maybe that might be it, that the primary bearing could be having problems.
The whistling noise.
Yeah. So I'm kind of thinking, I don't really want that, but maybe it'd be something, I don't know if I want to tackle that or not when I get home. Hopefully that'll last till we get, because now once it gets hot too, you don't hear it at all. I tried to rev it up so he could hear it, and he's like, I don't hear nothing back there. So, but he said, 110, all Harleys have weird noises to start with coming out of the motors. My first bike was like that after my second bike. I had a bunch of the dyno guy, not anybody we use, not even, I don't know, the guy's still even in business, but he redlined my bike and it started knocking after that. And got it all done, got it under warranty, got a bunch of performance stuff put on it, paid extra for it. And after that was done, I started hearing all these weird noises on that bike. And then I just got used to, I took it down to the shop and they said, that's the way they sound. So, you get more paranoid when you think you
doing
hear
stuff.
something. So we've had that shield rattling so long, that's why I don't.
Know how long that noise has been there. Has it been there the whole time?
Or did it come on just when they put this new pipe on? See, don't know. So I don't know. That's why we're thinking about maybe stopping by Rush up there. They're right before you get into Chicago on the Indiana side.
Gary,
I can't remember.
Gary,
I think it's by
Indiana, Gary,
yeah, I think it's by Gary, Indiana. And I think we're going to get a hold of them, and maybe they can listen to my bike. They should know if it's a pipe or not.
If it's their pipe, because it's their pipe that's on it.
And but we won't tell them that's what we're going there for. We'll tell them we're going to do a video for them. And I bought my seat from Rush. That's the
Yep.
seat you always look at. It's got the
Cut
hopefully
out down the
backbone.
middle.
And that's what's on our
Tailbone.
tailbone. The tailbone connected to your. You know what the tailbone's connected to?
Oh, your coccyx is connected to your sacrum.
What's
And
after
your
that?
sacrum's connected to your lumbar. Your lumbar is connected. That goes up your whole spine. Then your lumbar to your thoracic to your cervical.
There you go.
There you go.
Dr. Tam.
I know my bones.
She knows her bones. All kinds of bones.
Anyway, so
moving table
I
here.
know. Stop it. You get some louder pipes, you don't hear the engine noise at all.
Well, I've turned the radio up too. You don't hear a whole
Because
lot.
it's not that loud. It's not like super loud, but you can just kind of hear it. Then you get paranoid about it because then you think, what's going on? Is something wrong with the motor? And then all these things
So-
start going through your head.
So we got a bunch of videos that's going to be coming out here. Actually today, Ohio Bike Week starts. Larry from Bug Slide sent us something, and he was actually there with Mexi Philly.
Yep.
And
Eli. Larry
they were
and
setting
Eli.
up.
Oh, no, it was Dixie and Eli.
And so they'll be up there, which we're not going. And so then in the next week, we'll be up in
Laconia.
Laconia. So hopefully the bike will survive. It seems to run all right. I don't hear anything.
Oh, you can ask them your question you asked on the video this morning when we got gas.
So yeah, I don't know when that video's gonna come out. So if you pulled up to a gas station, pulled up to a Wawa, and they've got a variety of gas. Their premium is 93 octane. They have ethanol free. It's only 89 octane. What gas would you put in your bike?
The ethanol free at 89 octane or the super premium at 93 octane.
Which got ethanol in it.
But ethanol's in it.
And some of you tell you, and I'll tell you what I put in.
So nobody's answering. Oh, somebody's on there. I don't know what that says. Show or hide. Oh, yeah.
So you guys can still keep watching that video. A lot of you aren't watching all the way to the end because a lot of people are telling me to change the cam and the lifters and all that. And if you watch the end of the video, I already tell you that's already on the drawing board. We're
89.
trying
Dave's man
to
said
try to get it done in Laconia now. Bike will probably be down for a whole day, maybe a day and a half. So we might not, but we could do rides up to that point and then take it over there and get them to fix it right away. When I go to Ohio Bike Week, they probably could fix it because middle of the week they ain't doing nothing. But I don't want to go all the way to Laconia. Or all the way to Ohio
89.
Bike.
Ethanol. Bad, 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 Mike says. Mando says the blue fuel. That's the ethanol free. Yeah.
So that's what we did. We put the ethanol-free gas in it.
Because that's what I told him. Can't you buy octane booster?
You
And-
could. But now we've also been told, now different people have told us stuff, that Octane Booster does some weird things to your bike. And you shouldn't put it in your bike. So if you've got a bike builder or somebody does performance work for you, question them about that. Animam's oil really, he pushes it. And we put it in our bike when I've gotten some really low octane. But they pretty much the bikes today, unless you got a 128 engine or something like that in it. And do you even know it's even really what's in the tank? Who knows? But the ethanol
Are
free
they
is what
fibbing to you?
yeah. The ethanol free we always try to use. We put that in the RV, and it holds 36 gallons. And normally, I always fill the bike up through that. We fill up the pressure washer at home. We fill all the kids' ATVs out of that. That way, because ethanol loves to eat up anything that's fiber or rubber. I seen it back in the day eat up some carburetors, and they always tell you it's 10% ethanol.
More than that?
The guy I knew used to be able to test it, and he
Richard
used to
Brooks
find
on.
some as much as 18% ethanol in regular unleaded.
Thank you for your service, Richard.
So that's our gas thing today. Nice that everybody thinks the same way I do. Ethanol gas. Don't want it. Ethanol free as much as possible. I
Well,
put it in if I have
back in the
to.
day in Illinois, corn gas was like the big thing, and that was not good for your
No.
engines at
Well,
all.
if you had a new car, it wasn't so bad, but the
What we had back then.
corn gas would actually clean all the tar and stuff out and get in your... Back then it was carburetors. Carburetor gummed it all up, and you had to rebuild your carburetor, and sometimes the fuel pump would go out. If you had a sock in the tank, you had to replace that. What a pain in the butt that was. That was
I
back
had a
in...
stick in my tank once.
You had a stick up your what?
In my tank.
Don't you want to know that story?
I don't know why I did it. Wasn't me, it was my friend, Sue.
Old girlfriend. Now you see why I didn't marry her. I ended up with this one. I went
We
ahead
didn't believe the fuel tank said empty, so we tried to stick a stick in the gas tank to see.
and dropped it. In her 66 Impala Super Sport.
It was out of gas.
That when we got married, she wanted to get rid of because it didn't have AC in it. And if we had that car today, it was stock.
Shoulda never did it.
327, slip slide transmission,
Glass
buckets.
packs.
It was maroon, all black interior, all stock hubcaps, everything. That car would be worth, if it was still in the same condition, nothing happened to it, would have been, today would be over $80,000 car. And her dad sold it for $995. I couldn't believe he sold it that
Bought it
cheap.
for $695.
I think we haven't done a lot of work on it.
I
They had the
was-
old bias tires
Got
on
that
it.
for my 13th birthday. That was my birthday present, and I didn't get to drive it till I was 17. I drive it around with my parents in
Drove
the
it
car.
for 2 years and was tired of it. Her dad gave her a Buick Wildcat. Wasn't that a fancy car to ride around
That
in?
had power everything, and my Impala didn't have power
And
everything.
then we had
I went through the windshield when I stepped
a
on the
Ford
brakes.
station wagon. I think that's what I traded in on my truck. Got my
had
first
lots of
74 Chevy pickup truck that was up in
Ah.
Chicago, and all the Bondo fell out, and I had to put new fenders on it, or they were waving down the road. We do a lot of work on cars.
If you were in the
Paint 'em
gas
all.
next week, it would be okay with the 93 octane with ethanol.
Where
if I
at?
were going, if I were to use gas over the next week, I would be okay with the 93 octane with ethanol. If I were going to let it sit for over a week, ethanol free.
Which is true. That's a very good point. That if it's not going to sit in your tank for a
So
long
Richard
time.
said you can't get premium gas with ethanol free.
Yeah. Well, not true. We have, it's called racing fuel. In Havasu Lake, where we're not far from our house, you can get it's like 98,
Ethanol free.
yeah, ethanol
98
free.
octane.
But it's not cheap.
But it's for those big old boats.
Well,
down
I
there.
put it in the, it comes out pink. Reddish pink is it. 'Cause I actually put it in the can, and I'm like, holy crap. And so I went in and talked to the lady, and I'm like, is this too much to run on our generator? She goes, oh, just mix a little bit of regular gas in it and you'll be fine. Or regular, they also had regular ethanol free that was like 91. But yeah, it came out, it was I got those jugs, racing jugs, and it was all red
Got all
gas.
kinds of jugs.
Love my jugs. Can't have enough jugs. Jugs on my bike, jugs on this,
Jugs
jugs
on the
that.
brain. Ethanol free, higher octane at airports or boat docks. Yeah.
Yeah. But so you got to watch the boat docks because we've had trouble now with the boat 2 years in a row,
Okay.
and I don't think it's ethanol free because it's been eating up a carburetor. It just got done costing me more money, and the kids are out on the. Hopefully they're charging little friends today. Remember, I told you can start bringing people on the boat. You need to start charging them a gratuity fee to ride the boat. It wasn't cheap this year to get it fixed. We may never even get on it.
Maybe not. No, maybe for Labor Day. I don't know what's to see.
Time to sell you over.
So CJ said he had a 73 Chevy Impala, more Bondo than sheet metal. And it was vomit green.
Waiting as it goes down the road.
I don't think mine had any Bondo in it, did it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, mine was maroon. Well, that was our school color, so
It was factory color.
I was proud of my little car. 'Cause it would get up and go when we stomped on it.
Oh, it was a slip and slide, 2-speed.
Meow, there we go.
So she was sitting on the hump one time. She used to sit on the middle of the car when I drove it,
'Cause it was
and she
buckets.
kicked. I'm doing about 65 down the highway, and she kicks it in the first gear. She's like, "Ah, what had happened?" I said, "Get off of the thing! Push the shifter back."
Anyway. Richard Brooks said, okay. Tom Prescott said 93. Guess he'd use the higher octane. Oh, I got something in my eye.
So I don't know.
So
How long
I'm in
will it-
Washington, D.C., actually in Maryland, at the Harley Davidson dealership, waiting for tomorrow, I guess, is the Ride to Remember. So we got to see Tim Chamberlain, the saluting sergeant that stands out there. In the,
There's a plaque on the wall for him, or a mural.
Mural.
Yeah. He's down there sitting at the table. He's got a big TV. You can see him.
he's got his
The
uniform on.
lady in the blue is his wife. So right next to his wife,
here's
right
his
there.
wife,
That's him. Oh,
and
that's
then
him.
he's right
He's sitting
there.
there. You see the
He's
black
behind
hair.
that
That
guy
guy's in
after
the way.
he moves. Out of the way.
There he is. He's sitting there signing. He
Right
makes
there.
he's got like a little kid's book. I thought it was going to be like a book he wrote about his time, but
Career.
it's a little kid's book.
Maybe it's a book to help kids become more patriotic.
Could be. We didn't look at it yet. But he signs photos and him standing there saluting. You can get that. They got a shirt. I don't know what all that cost. We didn't ask. Just did the interview, and he
I
wants
just
some.
asked to talk to him for
He
free.
wanted some info on cameras
Yep.
and microphones and stuff. So I actually
is it?
wanted it for today, but I don't have. He wants a part for the lapel mic that he can plug into his phone. Well, I didn't bring the lapel mic, so I don't have that plug. And she said, "Well, can't you just give us what we have?" I said, "No, these are female. They're male to male. We need a male to a female. You know how that works. Can't have two males together. Gotta get a female in there to get mixed in with the mess, with the wires.
Anyway, so
Gotta have a.
Richard Brooks.
Can't see it. I was trying to
Can't
show
get
the
it up
male.
high enough.
Can't get it up.
There, you got to put it right in front of that. That's
So you can't get it up.
You can't. Richard says, hit that like button.
There you go.
Mike says, what does Bob think of the fair price? Is the fair price for a $30,000, 30,000 mile Harley service? Sorry, I couldn't just spit that out.
A 30,000 mile service. I'm afraid to say it's probably between $300 and $500 to have it done.
He wants to know what you think's a fair price. What would you pay for it? We take it to our guy over in.
Well, I would find somebody. How many miles you got on your bike?
About 80,000, not much.
Did you ever have a bike that had a 30,000 mile service on it? Remember how much that cost you?
They're all like $300-$400.
I figured it'd be more than that. I figured just the oil change is probably almost $300, isn't it? Because heck, Am's Oil Adams $225.
5,000 mile maintenance of all his bike.
So I don't know, but you could always go.
Around $400, I guess, is the going price.
So the bike that I have now, I didn't do any maintenance on it. I didn't do any of the checkups, and actually most of my bikes I've never. Well, the first two bikes I bought were used. My '01 and my '09 that I had were used, and I did take it in a dealer. Now I don't know if all dealers are this way, but the dealer that we bought used to get our bike serviced at. I went in and had an oil change done. So when I went to pay for it and pick it up, I said, "Well, how was the brakes?" And they said, "We didn't look at them. Did you want us to look at them?" And I'm like, you know, you couldn't. If you would have called me and said, "Hey, you need front brakes," I would have paid to have the brakes put on, versus me taking it home, putting the brakes on, and doing all that later. And I'm like, so you should have a dealer that doesn't want to charge you for every single thing they want to do.
All right, we got to
If they're
talk.
gonna give a-
Otherwise,
I know if they're going to give away a.
another bike.
Yeah, we have to go on the other
Because
brand.
they do a lot of sirens and all kinds of stuff when you buy a bike.
We may have to move because of their music. They had the music off all morning. So let's move into the other room real quick, and then we'll probably end it soon anyway. Keep talking while I move everything.
So I guess we're moving. We're going to move on to another
The other
room.
room.
Because I turned the air.
Yeah. We're going to move over here so that you don't hear the music. We get copyright claims and all that kind of stuff. We don't want that. So we'll come over here to their other room. It's a big room here. They had vendors and all that kind of stuff in here this morning. Oh, there's another table over here. We get there. Here we're live. Tell everybody hi. Tell them who you are.
Hello, I'm Kelly. I'm the marketing events manager here at Harley Davidson in Washington, D.C. We're having a great time. Thanks for coming out. Look forward to seeing you all in 2023.
And she's the one that's kind of hooking us all up for all the stuff that's going on. So it's kind of neat and helping us out. And get the other chair around here.
Here it comes. He's getting me a seat. Isn't that nice?
What?
I said he's getting me a seat.
So, we'll push this back some so we don't look like a giant. There. Not so close now. Move
So
over
this
over
are
here.
Ambat things. This is who puts it on now, along with the Harley dealership. We got T-shirts.
Yeah,
They had last year's for $5.
yeah.
Much better than where were we at? Oh, Myrtle Beach.
Murder Beach.
From last 2017 T-shirts, they were asking
Yeah.
$25.
So they were
for.
saying 50% off at Myrtle Beach in their discount tent for all the clothing was a minimum of 50% off. So she went and looked at these shirts. They were 2017, 2018. They were selling them for $25.95. Steven, if you've seen him a bunch of times, he's been on the Facebook page and stuff. He went inside the store and bought one for this year. Paid $36.95.
So for $10 more, you got a
current one. So it wasn't no 50% off. Here they are, $5. You're buying last year's shirt. You can get a better deal.
Yeah.
So got one. It's a white shirt. I don't really like white. Should have bought one and give away a couple of them.
Oh yeah,
Didn't think about it.
probably there need luck now. There's probably black ones over there. I don't know.
So
Yeah, I could've.
Because we got some Daytona shirts.
That would have been
anyway.
last year.
Yeah, but I mean, who?
Yeah.
Hey, still patriotic.
Yep.
Kind of neat to have.
Yep. I'd remember it. Let's see if anybody else. This is for human trafficking. You still got yours on? Yep.
There's a girl back here.
She's
that's
sticking them
got-
on everybody.
Well,
If
she
you
wants
walk through
everybody-
the door,
She wants people to talk about it, and that's what you do. When you say something about it, turn the volume, make sure it's not.
what?
I don't know
Oh.
what that little arrow's on there. Okay,
Yep.
all right, okay. I don't know what that little arrow does. It's supposed to be on
Where
there.
is it?
Yeah, little blue arrow.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, you probably got a comment. I think it lets you know that there's comments down there. Arrowhead quoted me $550 for a 2019 Road King. Arrowhead, which one is that?
It's a dealership.
I know, but I mean, that's not one of ours. Go to Apache
Here,
Junction.
I'll go back here and ask them. You entertain them. I'll go see what their 30,000 mile check.
All right. Kevin says, actually, dealership's responsibility to inspect and prove the motorcycle vehicle is safe to ride after it leaves the dealership. I know I am a PhD factory certification. There you go. Zippers is closed on Saturdays. Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to go there. But if we'd have known ahead of time, we could have, because we got here on Monday. I guess we came. Did we leave Sunday or Monday? Anyway. I think we were here Tuesday to Tuesday, so we must have left. We were here Tuesday. So we could have went up there then. It was only 45 minutes away from here, which we're an hour and a half away from here, so. But it would have been someplace to go, I guess, something to film. Peoria, Arizona, all right. Because our dealership in Kingman, the one that's Mother Road, they own the one also in Apache Junction. So they might be a better dealer, or a better price, because it's a smaller dealership. Call them and ask them what it is for 30,000 miles. See if it's any cheaper. I don't know. That's probably not Peoria to Apache Junction. What's that about? 40 miles? I don't know. It's out by Tortilla Flats, out that way. So you can check that, Mike. So we're at the Harley Davidson dealership of Washington, D.C. in Maryland, and getting ready for the Ride to Remember, which is on Sunday. And we came here today to meet the saluting soldier that salutes all the bikes as they drive by. He says he does it for the veterans and the patriots that are in the parade. And I guess I didn't realize what this parade was meant for, but it's meant to bring awareness to the POWs and the MIAs that are still out there from, they said even World War I. So I'm assuming if their remains are over there, I don't know where they come to, how they would get them or where they would be at.
Are they quoting?
A 489, 550 for 2019.
Here, now she wanted to let me know it takes 3 hours to do it. She can't do it today, but she could schedule and maybe get me in next week. And the price would be, and I was like, holy smokes, I can't believe this. $394.
Oh,
You
not
put your
bad.
bike on a truck and bring it down here. That's a good deal.
Yeah. I told him to call Apache Junction because at Peoria, how far is Peoria from Apache Junction? About 45 minutes. Just call, see what it is. If it's cheaper, it'll be worth the
$394
drive.
here.
Yeah, it's just about $400. They're all always within like $50 of each other.
It just seemed like it was, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I know I paid more than that the first time I brought my bike in.
How much did you pay?
I paid around close to $500 for like the 5,000
Out in
mile.
California.
Well,
Well,
California
you're on
charges-
the East Coast here,
See,
so
it's, I don't know what's your labor rate here.
I think they charge like $120 an hour.
Yeah, that's about the thing. It's usually between 125 and $150.
I don't know.
It's gone up over like the last 3 years. All of it used to be like around 90 to 100.
No, that's been,
Couple years.
we've been paying over 100 for ever since we've had a bike.
That's since 2007. We've had a Harley, so I don't know.
That's when I got my first
2007? Yep. Yep, that's when we moved out to Corona. Hey, Pawamoto's on. Emery's on. He says, have a good afternoon. Sorry I'm late. That's okay.
Well, probably,
We just
if
thought we'd
all
come on
goes
real
well,
quick.
we may do something later. I don't know yet. We'll definitely try to do some lives tomorrow. I probably won't film nothing while we're on the bike live, but
Whoever's on Facebook, I might film some of it while we're on the ride because I'll be on the back of the bike and I can get on my
I know.
phone.
Hey, they got a tower right next door here.
A ton of
Yeah, satellite.
things up there on
So
that
we got-
building over there.
Yeah, so we got really good service.
On top of that building. Look on top of that building over there.
All the antennas on top. So it's like we got like 150 going up here. Yeah, it's like 150 going up on everything I checked.
So all of our services. So that's good.
So we brought the hotspot
So
just
it
in
says
case.
39 on. We still. It looks like we got 43. So if you're still on, before you leave, make sure you give us a thumbs up. I think it's right down there. See if anybody else.
Any more questions?
CJ.
Maybe we'll wrap it up.
Palmoto said, "Hey, just tuned in." And CJ says, "Full fuel change, oil trans differential is like $225 alone. What does include in a 30K service?
You'd have to look
Change
at-
belts, brakes, forks, oil.
No, it's checking everything and
It's
lubing everything. They're not
like
replacing.
a 30-point
Yeah,
checkup.
so you get the 3 oil change, you're getting that with it, but then you get all this other check stuff. Like when Adam was over the other day, he does 10,000, he does them. And he lubes everything, and you check to make sure everything's adjusted properly, so you're not buying anything. You're just getting a full, thorough checkout of everything that's
to
there.
let you know if you need to spend more money
That's
to fix
right.
it.
And the idea is to try to catch something before it does any major damage. That's really what but it's to get you to come back in the dealership. Some people say that the dealer forces you to go to the dealer to get that for warranty work. And legally they can't do that.
As
You
long
have
as
to
it's
be,
an authorized Harley mechanic, you can take it.
well, anybody that can just say that they've done all that stuff, unless they'd have to come back and say, hey, I can see he never lubricated this cable, or they didn't do this, or they didn't do that. If you've got documents saying it's all done, and somebody the other day argued with me and said, oh no, my dealer wouldn't allow that. Well, take them to court. They'll lose. I said, there's a lot of stupid, it's like somebody, the Badgers were on the other night. I don't know if any of you watched them or not. I just happened to glimpse on them, but they were down at Lake of the Ozarks Bike Week. I don't know if that was last week. And they went to go buy a new tire from this dealer down in Springfield,
No, it was after
Missouri.
Labor Day.
The Harley dealer in Springfield. Only way he sells the tires, you got to buy 2. Yeah. And he says, no, I just got my new tire, my front tire's only got 1,000 miles on it. Sorry. You got to buy them in pairs here. That's the way, because that's warranty. That's the way you have to sell tires. You have to sell them in pairs. So he's like, I ain't buying a tire. Well, so he badmouthed them. And then he told you he found a little independent shop that sold him a tire. But probably a lot. Well, see, I don't want to say most, but there's a lot of people that ride a motorcycle that have no clue about anything, not about a motorcycle. So they rely on taking, just like people that take the cars to the dealer all the time. Our daughter does that. Wants to always take the car to the dealer and get all the work done.
Well,
on
she
it.
has them tell you, what do I need? And then she calls them and says, do I need this? Listen to the sound. What is that?
And last time they screwed him anyway, and they sold him they got a Lexus. Sold him all this money, sold him all these shocks and stuff, and the next time they came in, they came back and said, oh, the shocks are leaking a little bit, but they're okay. Any shocks that are leaking are bad. There's something wrong with them. Normal leakage on a shock is not normal. The seal's gone bad.
And they just replaced them.
Yeah, so they should have warrantied them out for him.
Well, this is
They
what
traded the car.
their Lexus was still under warranty. They took it in. They wanted to get the navigation system updated. $1,500.
Oh, that was $4,000.
No, I thought it was
It was
$1,500.
$4,000 for the
And
update.
it's like it's still under warranty.
And they said that's not covered in the
And all they
warranty.
have to do is plug it in and flip a button and update it. It's like-
But yeah.
So anyway, all right.
That's the
so
price
let's
of
see what
owning a
Mike
Lexus.
says. Going in 2 weeks before I leave for Sturgis. Time for repairs if needed. Yeah. So call the one out there, Apache Junction, out there by Tortilla Flats, and just see what they charge. If it's the same
If
price.
they're really crazy, call us back, because that's our Las Vegas dealers.
Yeah.
That's the same
I
guy
told him
owns
that's
that.
the one that owns Mother Road.
And we'll have Tony call over there. Give
See
me
if we can get you a deal.
my employee discount.
So anyway,
You're a vet, aren't you? You get 10% off for being a vet too.
should.
I think we give vet discounts. Pretty sure.
I'm sure Scottsdale charges a
So,
fortune because they just built
well,
that big old huge building. But anyway,
Call Apache Junction, see what they'll charge you, and then let me know. And if they want to screw you around, we'll call and
see if we can
see if
get
we
you
can
a
get a
deal.
deal. The subscriber special. Can't guarantee anything, but it doesn't hurt to call.
So, all right, so they're here. All right, the zipper heads are here for Ryder X's bike. So his bike should be done probably in
Go
the
back
next
there
2
and
weeks.
film them open. Did they open them up yet? Or are they still in the box?
No. No, that's good. Cool.
So all your parts are here now? By next Saturday, be running? When-
Oh no.
It should weasel you in. Look, it'll be just in time for Sturgis. Somebody asked if you were coming to Sturgis. I
Yep.
said no. He said he can't go this year.
He said next
For a
year.
guy that owns his own business, can do any damn thing he wants.
Well, I think his wife's not real crazy about motorcycle rallies. That's the deal.
I'm still on the fence. I may be coming. I may be coming.
Finding a place to stay is the next thing. Unless you're just
Oh,
gonna bring
yeah.
a tent and lay on the ground.
Yeah. Last we heard, Mike had looked up and not this.
Is Mike on there now?
Yeah, Mike's on there.
Mike, did you call that hotel that's right on Junction? There was that Vixen girl. She did a video the other day. They drove all the way from Michigan over to Sturgis to see what hotels were still available. They stayed in one, and I think it's the one we talked to the girl last year. But I mean, it wasn't cheap. They were like $500 a night rooms, and it was that hotel right there on Junction.
So she said they had some available.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's that one or not. She said there was. I didn't watch her video. I just clicked on it to see what is. Only 500 other people watched it anyway, and just wanted to see. But I think they thought that going all the way to Sturgis, they would get more people to look at the video.
June 7th is a Tuesday. The 10th.
There. Call Mike and see who he recommends out
All
here.
right.
You live closer to Richmond, don't you? You have to call Mike and see who he
Who he recommends
if he has anybody out there.
Because he trains them.
He trains all the Harley guys. No, he's
He,
from. I
he
don't know
goes
where he's
all
from.
across the United States.
Yeah.
And trains all
That's
the
why he
dyno
wants
guys.
to leave Speeds. Is he originally came in and started working with Speeds
To help him
because
out.
they didn't have anybody, and he trained the guys that were there, and I think they lost a guy, and so he came on, and now he's getting to where, hey, I really need to get back out. And, you know, they're calling me for all these trainings and all this, and it's tough to figure, especially with all the rallies, because they added this one. They're in Ohio. They went at the last minute. That started today. And which is okay. Well, you might want to. No, because they would. They didn't tighten something up.
Sturgis Hotel says they have some come and go with cancellations.
Who said that?
Mike.
Oh.
Bill's on. He says, good morning, Bob and Tam from Washington, West Virginia.
There you
Not
go.
West Virginia. From Washington, not West Virginia.
West Washington.
Well, no, he's in Washington State.
I know.
He always
Washington
says
State, but it's the west side. he's on.
NW, and I always think that's West Virginia. I don't know why. But anyway, are we done?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, so don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. Think about Patreon. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications, and we'll see you on the next video.
If we don't have another video coming out tonight, live, we'll definitely be looking for us tomorrow.
We'll
The
do some
ride
on the
here
rides.
starts at noon, so back your time up. That's East Coast time, so it'll be really early if you're on the West Coast, or if you're
9
up in
o'clock.
Alaska, where Neil's at, it'll be extra early.
8 o'clock in the morning.
And then we'll try to maybe after the ride, as people are coming in and I get stationary, I'll probably do some video that you guys can see some of the things that are actually happening. And then next week we'll put a video out on both of these two items. We got a bunch of neat stuff coming up. Amazon will add them. His 3-holer. You gotta see that. That's gonna be coming up soon. I started on. I'm halfway through it. Ready to lube it up. This is our next move. And then I've got a couple other things. We've got a brand new item on the bike. We're going to be talking about that. We got, what else we got on the drawing board? Oh, we got a fat tire. Show you how to put a fat tire on a bike. It actually was a lot easier than I thought it'd be.
We got an ESSA coming on for One Sexy Biker Chick, telling you what's going on in their world.
Why prices are going up, which most people probably know, but we just want to explain.
Their point of view.
Yeah, which is,
From a vendor's point
yes.
of view.
And so
Lots of
that's
exciting
coming
stuff
up.
coming up.
And, air shocks. We got a video coming up on air shocks, how to install them. And what we're doing, we also got an inner fairing. Show you how to take your fairing off and your inner fairing. And on a bike. They actually did on mine. Actually, if you guys were watching the channel the other day, somebody made a comment. They said he wanted to come over and talk to us, but he seen we were getting a new inner fairing. Well, we weren't getting a new inner fairing. We were having the fairings taken off so we could film that and show
Do an
you
install
how to do that. Because it's a whole lot better to have a pro show you than somebody like me that does 2 in my lifetime, try to show you how to do and what's the trick. He showed a couple of things with just a screwdriver you can do to get that screw that's way back in there on your sound box.
Yep.
Inside your fairing, how to get that in there without killing yourself
Or cussing.
or committing murder to yourself. or that little screw.
Or someone close by.
Yeah. So we got a bunch of neat stuff coming up. Like I say, we got Laconia's coming, so we got a bunch of stuff there. I think the bike's gonna be all right. Hopefully, we'll see how tomorrow goes. Coming up here today was no problem. We got to go back tonight, and then tomorrow morning, as long as we don't hit Bambi and his mama on the way in tomorrow morning, we'll
We
be
did
here.
see one on the side
If you
of
don't
the
see
road.
us tomorrow go live, you might check the news and see if motorcycle hit Bambi or not, and his mama. And because we're probably going to be heading out in the dark.
Yeah.
And sun will be coming up, and we seen one on the road over here. The vultures were eating on her, on the baby, having lunch. They were having breakfast. It was still early. So with that, we're going to leave you right here at wonderful Washington. Oh, what do they call this? The
DMV. We're in the DMV. Delaware. Yes.
I thought it was over in the communists or something. DMV.
They kept saying it, and here in the DMV, and here in the DMV, and there in the DMV, and I'm like, what is the DMV?
Somebody got
To
it.
me, the DMV is where you get your Delmarva.
It's all kind
Delmar.
of here together.
I was pretty close. I said Delaware, Maryland, and Vermont. I don't know why I said Vermont.
Virginia.
That's the only V
We're
I
in
could
Virginia.
think of. I know. I
We're
couldn't.
staying in Virginia.
Vermont's north, so I was just thinking the V, and I Nova, like SoCal.
Because here, what's really funny too, because everybody calls this just Washington. It's just Washington. No, it isn't. It's
DC.
Washington D.C. Because we lived on the West Coast, and there's a Washington State. Actually, there's a whole lot of cities that are called Washington.
We lived in Washington,
Yeah.
Missouri.
So this is just another city called Washington in the D.C., which is really all of D.C. But everybody just says Washington here all the time. We're like, Washington where? Washington.
We put an R in it. We say we wash our clothes. Wash.
Yes.
Put an R in it.
My
Yeah.
mom used to say Yeller.
Yeller. And U-Haul it and Kmart's.
Well, we always get everybody, how do you pronounce Illinois? 99% of people say Illinois.
How do you say Missouri?
Yeah, how do you say Missouri?
Missouri.
Well, some mean Missouri and Missouri. Now, you
grandpa
can even
said
live
Missouri.
there and they pronounce it different. But Illinois, there is no noise in Illinois.
Crayon.
Crayon.
Well, when my son-in-law is from Georgia, when they first got married, he kept saying, would you go pick up those crowns? And she's like, I don't see any crowns. He's like, no, those crowns. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. They were crayons, but he said crowns. I don't know.
That's a Georgia
Crowns.
thing.
Crowns.
Orange.
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 So most of the stuff we're all right with, but it's just we put an R in some of the stuff.
Water. His mom would say birch, too. Put an R in bush. Birch. Out there under that birch, there's
My
them
mom
birds.
grew up on a farm out in
a
the middle of
little
nowhere
bitty
during the
town.
Depression.
Water.
water.
With an R. Water.
Water.
Water. Wood.
No wood.
Another word I can't say in everybody, I don't know why. A dowel.
A
A
doll.
dowel that you play with. The little girl plays with
a
a baby doll.
A dowel. Not a dowel like you put in.
Dowel.
Like you're building
I
furniture.
always
Like
said
you're
dowel.
building furniture with a dowel. We're leaving it at that.
Bye.
Tell everybody goodbye. Tell them your thing.
Bye. I did.
I didn't hear you.
Subscribe to our channel. Share with your family and friends. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications. Think about Patreon. And we'll see you on the next video.
Remember, this is Memorial Day. It's not a big fancy holiday to go out and barbecue and all that.
No.
Remember what the day's all about. This whole weekend's about.
Think a vet, and if you are a vet, thank you
Well, it's
from
not
the
just
bottom of our
about it's the
hearts.
same Veterans Day. You'll be thinking about the people that have lost their lives during the wars and people that have died that were veterans.
Some that gave all.
And those that are missing that we don't know where they're at.
POWs and MIAs.
So with that, we will see you all later. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. One of the
Thank
two.
you.
Bye. Push the little button. Bye. Hit the little X. Bye.